How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be doing a knife review. This is a knife that I designed, but Nobody Knifeworks made. So grab a coffee or your favorite beverage and sit back and let's go through this review. But before I get right into it, I just gotta say, I am sponsored by Nobody Knifeworks. But if you know me, then you know I'm gonna be giving you the truth. When it comes to knife throwing reviews, there are some knife throwers that can just make any knife look good. Especially if it's a design that knife thrower has made and is trying to sell. Now with that said, let's go! My name's Joshua Torto. My favorite design of a knife, it has to have a tanto tip. The knives I carry around with me have tanto tips. Like the Sky Marshall by Tops, it's got the fine wine of a tanto tip. That same tanto tip has inspired me to make my throwing knife have a tanto tip. Now the name of this knife is Torto, the Torto. It's a play on with my last name, Torto, Torto, Tanto. There are now two variations to the Torto, the old one and now the new one. So let's go over some of the differences and similarities to the evolution of the Torto. All right, I got a measuring tape and I got a scale. So let's go over some of the specs. The old one, the weight is 218 grams. The new one weighs 282 grams. The length of the old one, 9 inches. The length of the new one, 9.2 inches. The thickness of the old one was 7 millimeters. The thickness of the new one is 8 millimeters. The old one had no fuller down the spine. The new one has a fuller that extends the entire length of the spine. One of the main purposes of the Torto is to be thrown no spin and half spin. So having a fuller extend the entire length of the spine gives you the option of having the fuller when you throw half spin. And of course, the fuller for no spin. Comparing that to other knives, like the 8.5 inches of Danger, the fuller doesn't extend the entire length of the spine. So when you go for half spin, you lose a little bit of that fuller. It almost has a little bump when you slide to get that half spin, that instinctive half spin throw. For me, I like to throw it very similar to my no spin throw. And I use my index finger to control the distance to throw half spin and no spin. Because if you have the option of having a fuller versus not having a fuller, I would go with having a fuller. It really does help control the knife. There's definitely more advantages than disadvantages when it comes to having a fuller on your knife. With that out of the way, the balance point of the new Torto is right in the center. Some of the finer details of this knife is having a straight spine, and when you flip it over on the blade side, it's a little bit like a boomerang. And that's for having a good no spin throw and a very good half spin throw. Your grip is almost the same. It almost feels the exact same in your hand for a no spin and for a half spin. The old Torto did not have that option. It actually had a little bit of a curve into a bulge at the end of the knife. The new version just curves up, that boomerang effect on one side and then straight on the other side. And it thins out, just like the front thins out to the tanto tip. For me, when I'm throwing, I don't want to have the bulge in the way. Why? Because I wrap. I don't pinch grip. I wrap my fingers around the knife. So when I throw, it slides out my hand without any resistance. The old version, when I do my grip and I throw, and it slides out, there is a slight resistance of my middle finger and the bulge at the back of the knife. The new version flies out my hand with ease. I've been throwing for now over 6 years. I've been throwing a lot of different knives. A lot of thought went into the first version. A lot of thought went into the second version. A lot of improvements. When you've been throwing a lot of knives for enough time, you'll catch the subtle differences in each knife. And you'll know what you like more and what you don't like so much. I've done that over the years, and I put that all into the Torto. All right, so the next part of this review is to take you outside to my outdoor range where I have much longer distances to throw, and I want to throw the new version. So the weather forecast for today, right now, not too bad. We have a storm rolling in tonight, strong winds, and a lot of rain. So before the weather picks up, let's head outside and let's throw this thing half spin and no spin from long distances. It's been a minute since I've used my outdoor range, so I'm just going to do a little cleanup before I get throwing. Just going to start off with a few no spin throws to warm up. This is my 7 meter mark. What I'm quickly trying to show here is just how there's no resistance from this knife when it's released out of my hand. How the fuller works with the index finger just really helps complement the no spin throw. Hopefully here you can see how similar the throw for no spin is to a half spin throw. How nice was that 7 meter throw? Let's go! The transition between a half spin throw and a no spin throw with this knife is barely noticeable. Okay, that was pretty awesome. All right, as you saw outside, I was only throwing one knife. And there's a reason for that. I was dialing in. I was getting used to my new Torto. And I recommend that for anybody getting themselves a new set of knives and you really like them, grab one, dial in first. Get really good with the subtle differences. And then when you grab your set and throw, they'll be like new and you won't damage them as much. Another purpose to the Torto is to be used in competition. That's right, this will be my set of knives that I use in competition. And on the flip side, I also want this to be my EDC thrower. And my EDC throwers, they have to have a live edge. So I'm going to take you over to my workstation and we're going to put a live edge on one of these knives. And that's going to be my EDC thrower. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a live edge, maybe an inch long, on the tip of the tanto part of the knife. That way when it penetrates, it's going to do a much better job. Remember to take the right safety precautions when you're grinding down steel. All right, as you saw, I also put a mirror finish on the blade, and that's just to help it penetrate better. It might not be razor sharp, but it's much sharper. Okay, we've reached the end of the review, but what I'm going to do to end this off is I'm going to use the EDC version of the Torto, the one with the live edge, and I'm going to demonstrate why I do that. And I'm going to penetrate completely through this phone book. There you see the Torto EDC version. No funny business. Phone book's up. Let's do this. Right through, baby. Let's go! All right, let's do it again. Because why not? Phone book's not taped together, so having it loose actually makes it harder. There's not one review I've done where I didn't pin a can. Let's go. There you have it. That's the Torto. So check out Nobody Knifeworks and get yourself a set of the Torto. Or just get yourself one for that EDC business. I'll leave all the information to Nobody Knifeworks in the description. You can check out his link to his shop and you can use the QR code to get a 10% discount. Or you can use my coupon code, COOLEST, and you can get 10% off as well. So let's finish this off by gripping it, ripping it, sticking it, and hitting it. Later!